Okay, so for the flower, yellow can be kind of tricky. You're going to need to use a light violet here. And because if you look in my example, the majority of your shadow is towards the top and then it's lighter at the bottom. So I'm going to start my demo with some of the petals at the top. I am like super far back on the pencil because I do not want heavy pressure on this purple. Purple will tone the yellow to make it look in shadow without making it look too dark or dirty. However, you do need to control it. So I'm going to do these two for right now. Just like in the other demonstrations, I do try to look for the areas with the darkest value just to help me gauge what those middle values should look like, or tones. I guess tones would have worked. All right, so very light violet. I'm actually going to use my dark brown just to establish that center part. I would use, this is the dark umber again. I would use this with indigo blue, a little bit of violet on top to kind of create that center piece. Now, all right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tint that underpainting. So I'm going to add white to the violet before, and notice I'm using somewhat circular marks. And I'm actually even going to, because this yellow is not really a bright yellow, it's more of a tinted yellow, I'm going to put a base of white where the yellow is going to go too. All right, so I'm back to my canary yellow, and I'm going to glaze this on. And you should be able to see it looking in shadow compared to where it is not in shadow. You can see that? It gives me a nice values. Really, all drawing, if you can break it down to light and dark, think about what color is going to be the best base to create tone in your drawing. And then adding tints and emphasizing shades. I mean, if you follow that system in all parts of this drawing, you're pretty golden. I'm going to put this lightly in shadow, and then this is a little bit darker. So I'm going to go back in with the violet. All right, and I'll just show you a little bit of that. I'll show you the brighter ones down here. So in contrast, I'm not going to really use all that much purple on the petals down here. So let's say, and I am generalizing this a little bit because actually there is a little violet in here, but it's the shadow's just not as dark, so I'm going to use less of it. And I'm going to tint it, and then I'll use my yellow on top. And this should make feel as though the light is kind of coming in this way, and these are going into shadow. Let me move my light might be just a little bit too bright on it. I don't know, maybe that's better. Okay, and then for this, like I said, I use that burnt umber, dark brown would work. Then I used indigo blue to start getting that natural black. I noticed a violet tone to it when I was doing that one. So I'm actually going to add violet in through like the part that's a little brighter. And then I would, get some texture on there and kind of go back and forth with that. If you find you need a little bit darker shadow in the yellow, you can incorporate some of that sienna brown, which will bring it a little more towards an orangey shadow. It'll warm it if you felt like the violet's too cool. And then if you think it's just not dark enough, lightly build in the purple and go back in with the yellow on top, and that's going to give you darker shadows. All right, I hope that helps, and good luck.